Yes, thank you all for being here. I'm taking in that we're all over the world, um, and I'm experiencing that I have this tremendous enthusiasm to play in this class, and also the part of me that hasn't done something just like this before and is nervous, and the body, arms, fingers start rubbing the upper thighs to sort of calming down that nervous system that is a little doing this. And I just want to welcome all of you that have joined us today. Each and every one. Some of you, a couple of you are longtime focusing partners, and some of you I haven't met, I'll say, yet, and we're meeting now. So welcome to you and to others who might be listening or hearing this recording later on as well. I want to say a special thanks to Lynn and Elizabeth in developing this morning's class together. We were developed ourselves. I'll say it, at least for myself. I was developed by putting this together with Lynn and Elizabeth, and also our long-term focusing group. 5 of us have been meeting ever since one of the first 2-year Wholebody focusing program, and that group includes Patricia Manessy and Donna Blank, and they are here as leaders. Really, I could say as just as much as the 3 of us that you see, including some others that have been part of that group, and other focusing parts. Many of you who've been in this a while recognize that all these interconnections matter, and we become more and more aware of them. I want to thank all our treasured focusing partners and colleagues, and you. We realized right away that our class is meant to be easily accessible for people who are new to focusing, but we also wanted to demonstrate what's new at the edge for us in whole body focusing and heartfelt connection and conversation. I'm umming. Yeah, okay, there's that little part that says, oh, you're umming. We really appreciate your participation, and I want to take time for us to sense that while we don't see you right now, we still have you. We have each other. We have this circle. And this circle, I was even sensing it before we began to meet this morning, as we were all getting ready, and noticing that maybe many of us have sat in circles before, but this circle is a sphere. Well, how about that? Thank you so much for participating in that, and for being here, and for recognizing our connections, and whether you said something about them or haven't yet. So I want to tell a brief outline of the class, and I know what I wrote down first was something about safety, and recognize our safety within ourselves in the way that we can check with ourselves, each of us, for it's very simple, what's all right with me. So whatever I might say or any of us might offer or invite, it's just going back to what's okay with you. I'll offer an attunement in a minute, and then Lynn will offer us a grounding exercise, and I'll introduce a demonstration. Lynn and Elizabeth are going to talk with one another, focus in a whole body focusing, heartfelt conversation way. And we'll invite you to notice what comes in you, what your experience of listening with them is. And later, towards the end, we'll invite questions and wider comments if you have them. Those are kind of two different kinds of things. I'll say more about that later. We'll wrap up and turn the microphone to Henry and Catherine at the end, and Jenna. And Jenna and Henry are available to you right along if you're having any technical difficulties, or if there's something that you really need us to know. Do let them know that. But we'll probably invite more of the questions later. But we want you to have time to have this experience right along. So just sensing what comes in you as we go. All right. Let's see, I want to stand because whole body focusers often stand when they're doing this kind of attunement, and it's not required. Might have planned out seeing what it would look like to have me stand here. Here we go. So there's something about standing that is again not required. You might just notice that you're perfectly comfortable in the chair, and this attunement is offered either way. So just sensing, going gently to sort of arriving again. You might be noticing, what all you've been doing this morning or earlier today. It might not be morning for you. It's earlier morning for me on the East Coast. It's getting to midday, and but just sensing where you arrived from and what maybe you've sat down in order to be here. Yeah. Put that aside just for now. Noticing the natural movements that come in the body, whether it's getting a little more comfortable in the chair or the movements in a standing body, and welcoming that. Since you can't quite see, you can sort of see I might not say this ordinarily, but my legs are moving and the knees are bending, one and then the other, one and then the other. So I'm just noticing the natural movements that come and move. Inviting the body to ground, but kind of consciously sensing one's roots. Some of you have a long experience with what it might be. Others of us will just try something out that we can call grounding. The connection, the recognition. Standing on our own 2 feet. If you're sitting, receiving the support of the chair, noticing where feet touch ground and feet is in the chair, and your weight. Might be a natural kind of finding the release. The body senses the support of the ground. All the support that's there comes up through the body, and recognizing that ground force. The earth is always there. And this is just letting your awareness recognize that body relationship to the earth, in the earth, of the earth. Whatever the right word is that comes for you. It is a relationship. Foot to floor, body and ground. In addition, if it's needed or you get lost or worried somewhere along the line, just simply go back to this connection of feet on the floor, feeling the feet. It can be really very simple. Or seat in the chair, or somehow your relationship with the light in the room. To your grounding presence. Sensing yourself, you here. Making room for yourself here. And then just noticing that there's a whole body, your whole body. Welcoming that. Welcome home. Maybe inviting something that marks this sense of the whole body. You might let a word or a picture or something develop. Something about the whole body. Mm-hmm. Just sense what happens in there, in here. Again, noticing if there are any little movements. The body has a wisdom all its own. Inner wisdom, inner movements, inner directions. Just sensing for those. You might want to let your body know that we'll be here this way for another minute or so. And then we'll invite a soft landing, sort of resting place for now. Sensing an open recognition of what's there just as it is, including everything, leaving nothing out. It's all there. Feet on the floor. Yeah. And if something difficult or something that catches the attention has come, just letting it know that there will be room for that. There is room for that to be here. It can come along. When it feels right, letting your eyes gently open or your attention return. I notice out the window here there's early morning light and the green things that are growing and the yellow blossoms and the wild plum tree that's in a wild exuberant white bloom. Lots and lots of little white flowers. So, again, I'm appreciating my dear friends, my co-teachers, and all these colleagues, all of us together. Yeah, thank you. It looks like we would have time if people would like to type in at least and say what's kind of experiences came there for you. There's something you'd like to remark by writing about it. We would welcome that. We were noticing that this Zoom platform is new to all of us, and appreciating what it offers, but not being able to see all of you all the time. We're just letting that invite us into a deeper sensing of that we are together.
Okay, I've got a response from Tanya Buchanan Boyd. She says a sense of calm, spaciousness, expanded sense of consciousness, and relaxed awareness.
Thank you.
Cassandra says, my whole body is like a sensitive, resonating drum, receptive to all of its experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie says, feeling very grounded and solid in my body.
Yeah, welcoming that.
Samara says, I notice a flood of relief through my body when you say that any feeling of difficulty was welcome here and that there was room for it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Georgia said, I felt my nervous system beginning to settle, self-soothe, and restore. And Susanna said she had a sense of relaxation, although she missed some words.
Yes. There's something about that, the missing the words, and I appreciate the gentle way she says that, because I recognize the quietness of my voice, and so I appreciate that missing, and the gentle way she marks it. I feel a wanting to respond to this. Everything is welcome here again, as it feels important to me, because many of us in this work have remarked that somehow the next small or right, or but as if they were lined up waiting for these moments, the next something has to come into this kind of space. And so we do want to welcome whatever does come. We want to be here.
Betsy says, feeling more present since you're opening, more grounded. Tanya says, I like the gentle voice. It seems to carry a specific consciousness, which I resonate with. And then Emma says, I had a sense of stillness and connection. Samuel says, I'm sensing a sense of verticality now.
Mm. Well, thank you, Jenna, and thank you all. I often don't like to, cut anything short, because I've been the kind of person who needed this much time to get to what wanted to be said. So if there is something that wanted to be said, let's just make some room for that if it didn't get the chance today, right there. I was looking at our schedule earlier in a very practical way and thinking, where do we want pauses? There's a transition here now to the next part of our morning. And we're going to invite Lynn to offer us a further grounding exercise, and you can take from that how important we think this step is in whole body focusing, and notice, sense within what comes further. One sometimes would make everything what comes differently, but we could also say what crosses, what comes further. So, Lynn, if that feels like the right time, let's step forward.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. As Laura was guiding us and reminding all of us that we're not only here together in a circle, but in a sphere, I'm remembering something that she mentioned the other day when the three of us, Laura, Elizabeth, and I, were together, that if we were in the same room together, in a circle, we'd be able to look around, make eye contact, and make eye contact, and make eye contact, and make eye contact. And even though we're in a virtual circle, a virtual sphere, I invite each of us to look across that sphere, to say hello to each of the other participants who have come together, gathered together here with all of us, to be present in this very particular and for me quite delicious way. So I'm saying hello even to those of you in the circle behind me, and saying hello even to those of you in the circle over here behind me, and welcoming already this increasing sensing that all of us have together of being together in this quite exquisite way. I'm in Montana in the United States. I'm visiting. We are north, almost near the Canadian border. And last night there was a gorgeous snowfall. There's quite a bit of snow that's very light. It's called powder. And the people who ski here love to ski on powder. And so there are sounds outside of people shoveling their snow, and also sounds of the machines that blow the snow. And in the beginning this morning, I thought, oh no, that's going to be so distracting. How can I can't mute my microphone. And then I realized, of course, sounds from the outside are part of our natural living. So before we get to attuning to sounds of our natural life, I invite you once again, I invite you to stand. You're welcome to stand, you're welcome to sit. You're welcome to do one and then move into the other if you'd like. It's your choice. And I invite you to put your hands up on the top of your head. And just let your hands start moving slowly and gently over the top of your head, letting them come down the base of your skull, finding that place that we call the neck, the back of the neck, and just letting your hands make a gentle contact with your skin through your clothes. Your hands moving across the tops of your shoulders. Now, if we were those fancy gymnasts in Cirque du Soleil, we'd be able to take our hands all the way down our backs. I'm not one of those people. But what I can imagine is that I have a very wide paintbrush, like a house painting brush in my hand. And I can let that brush just sweep side to side as it moves very slowly and gently across the surfaces of my back, from side to side, moving down, that paintbrush making contact with the parts of my back that are coming down towards my belt line. And as that paintbrush moves, it continues below my belt line across the levels of my low back, coming down more and more. That paintbrush sweeping down around the curve of my buttocks and coming down the backs of my legs, finding the surfaces of those parts of me in the back that I quite often am not aware of. So I'm inviting my broad paintbrush to sweep down and down the backs of my thighs, coming down into that area behind what we call the knees. And continuing that sweeping down below the area of knees, coming down around that round musculature of the low legs, or whatever the shape of your muscularity in your low legs is. Continuing that sweeping, that gentle sweeping down and down and down. As you sweep down around the area that we call ankles, coming down towards the feet. Sweeping below the ankles, coming underneath your heels, sweeping under the bottoms of your feet, moving towards your toes and towards your toes and towards your toes and out the tips of your toes. Now, if we had antennae in all those places on our bodies where we made contact with our hands, with our broad paintbrush, I invite you to let your antennae extend out away from the back part of your body. Some of you may have long antennae, some of you may have medium-sized ones, short ones, whatever the length of each antenna in those areas of your back and side body, inviting them to sense into the space behind you, to sense into the space on the sides of you, and also to sense into the space beneath you, your feet. And gosh, don't my feet have lots of antennae, lots of nerve endings? So there's a sensing at my heels, a sensing at the middle part of my feet, the round balls part of my feet, and at my toes. And as you continue this sensing into the spaces behind you and to the sides of you, above you, I invite you to look around the room that you're in. And even if you've got a little bit of space to move around and can move away from your computer so that you hear me, as you look around the room with your eyes, I invite you to sense how you're experiencing this room in the back of you, the sides of you. How are your antennae sensing into those spaces behind, to the side, to the top, to the bottom of you? And how is that for you to experience this room that you're in, most likely a familiar room to you? How is it to experience, not from what you're seeing with your eyes, but to experience this room from these other parts of you that have the ability to sense elsewhere into space? And then invite yourself to pause in stillness at the same time that you're sensing into those spaces that your antennae are attuned to. How is it for me right now to experience pausing as I'm sensing space? And then take another little jaunt, whether you're actually walking around or swaying, however it is that moving comes out of your body right now. Again, renewing your intention of sensing into those other spaces. And again, invite yourself to pause. And in this pausing, renewing your invitation, your intention of sensing into space above and to the side and to the back and below you. And then letting movement return to you from the pausing. In other words, I consciously choose to pause, and I consciously choose to unpause. I never thought about it that way before, but it's true. I can shift from pausing to unpausing. And how do I experience that in the spaces behind me? This sensing of unpausing. And when it feels right for you, I invite you to pause, not again, but to pause anew. To sense into those spaces, not again, but anew, freshly. And as you continue sensing into those spaces that are outside, above, to the side, behind, underneath you, as that sensing and experiencing continues, I invite you to sense inside, within your physical body, in whatever way, whatever ways come to you. And maybe even to begin a conversation with yourself. All right, Lynn, here I am with this wonderful sphere of people around the world, and I'm sensing into these other spaces that are not in front of my eyes. And there's something about that sensing externally that brings something new for me inside. Whatever the new is. Maybe I don't even know what the new is. Maybe I don't even know that there is new. But I continue inviting myself to sense, and in that sensing, if it feels right, if it comes to me, to notice whatever there is for me to notice. And my own noticing might come in language, words, metaphor, might come in images, might come in music or sound play. It might even come in something that seems like it doesn't have any connection to this at all. Like, oh gosh, I just remembered I need to go to the grocery store to purchase something. No matter. I'm sensing into the space around me, and I'm allowing that sensing to continue as I sense inside and notice whatever there is that I'm noticing, I'm experiencing and noticing. And as Laura said, everything is welcome here. Even my memory that, oh, I forgot to purchase something when I went grocery shopping. Everything is welcome here, including, gosh, I don't really have a sense of anything inside me. I'm not sure there's anything there. That also is welcome. So when you feel that you've come to a resting place with this, you can open your eyes if they've been closed. You can sit if you've been standing. You can turn cartwheels if you have that capability. Whatever it is that your body brings to you. And if there's something that you'd like to share about your experiencing of this, you can write that. And as I said that, what came so strongly to me is my sensing awareness of this sphere of all of us here right now. And I thank each of you, all of you, for that.
So Lynn, if we are just waiting just a moment for some responses to come. Previously, an anonymous viewer responded that they really appreciated the invitation to stand up, and that it wasn't until I did that I realized that much of the experience of my middle was simply tight pants.
Ah, yes. Wonderful. Aha.
Susanna says, beautiful experience, sensing the outer space took me directly inside without delay. I had an image of myself. Cassandra says, sensing from my back a sense of pressure, as if somebody is there. Who has my back? When I sense from the back of my legs, I sit, noticing as I do, I am aware of an invitation to rest. Tanya says, wow, feels like a place of vulnerability, total openness. I was almost apprehensive, like I kept wanting to protect myself.
That really makes sense. I can resonate with that. Something about wanting to protect myself sometimes in the opening, and I what I notice well, no, I'm just appreciating that. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Patricia says, delightful, Lynn. I reassured my front that it wasn't being ignored, abandoned, or excluded. And then, of course, the sensing my above, my sides, my behind, and my below became much greater, much wider, more expanded, safe environment for the whole of me. Wow.
Wow.
Maggie says a unique approach away from sensing the front in your eyes, our usual MO, to the whole body. Thank you. And then Emma said, I had a sense of how tired my body is from a long day yesterday visiting my son with special needs and a long day driving. I hadn't appreciated how much it took out of me until then. Yeah. And then Betsy says, the importance of my backside gives depth to my whole. Thank you, Lynn.
I'm finding myself touched and kind of in awe of the many ways that each body is informing itself, how my body informs me of what it wants me to know about itself right now. How beautiful, and what a gift that we have that doesn't quite feel right to call it an ability. I'll call it a gift. How wonderful that we have that gift.
I like what comes there when you say it doesn't feel right to call it ability, Lynn. There's something about it. It's a gift, and then something wants it's a natural human capacity that we have not valued or had anyone else notice with us.
And that reminds me of a conversation that the three of us had when we were preparing to be together today, and that is that every infant is born, every infant is a purely sensory mechanism, doesn't feel right, is a purely sensing and sensory being. And the infant doesn't cognitively understand language, but the infant definitely understands what has a sensory understanding of what it's experiencing, whether it's experiencing safety, comfort, love, nurturing. And when the three of us were talking about this, we, I think, found ourselves having, for me anyway, a regret, a sadness about what we lose as we mature, as we develop, as we become more cognitively conscious. And one of the things why I say that I'm so grateful to FM Alexander and Kevin McAvenue is for this graceful interweaving of my sensing abilities, both outside and, yes, in front. Thank you, Patricia. sensing abilities from the outside to the inside. And then for me, what focusing brings is that, and it is a skill for me, a developing skill of being able to sort of connect my sensory gifts, my sensing, with some cognition. And just then I felt like I said too much, blah, blah, blah. So I am going to step back, get out of the way, and return to Laura.
My job right now is to return us to you and Elizabeth, and or it's not a return; it's a brand new. So when we were anticipating what we, I think I can say for myself, what we so enthusiastically wanted to share about whole body focusing and heartfelt conversation, first heartfelt connection. When we're practicing, we do a lot of listening, and so one could call this deep listening elaborated. But this heartfelt connection first, and then heartfelt conversation. So we're going to have a little demonstration that came, the idea of which came from Lynn and Elizabeth's longtime connection and growing awareness of this. So what I'm wanting to do right now is to take that step back and to settle and connect with each of you again, because what I'm inviting you to do is to look for kind of guideposts in this demonstration. So we have what we're calling guideposts. You might want to watch for how Lynn and Elizabeth have a long-standing partnership with that particular level of ease and intimacy. So if you have a brand new partnership, there'll be a development. But here we're looking at people who've been meeting for some years, and in this way. You can look for that there are steps even in a long-standing partnership. And they will say extra things to make that more obvious, what some of the steps are. There's a grounding into the shared space. So the steps of that connection might be named by these words. There's a practice of sensing for me here, the other, you there, and then something that's a little bit new for us, calling it you here. So I'm having an experience of you. And then there's a further sensing that's developing in a lot of different whole body focusing work in different places in the world about we here. And there are different languages being used sometimes, but that sensing for that there is a we, and we can sense and receive the resources from that connection of we. So there'll be turns that include listening silently. Each Lynn and Elizabeth listening with their whole bodies, the importance of pausing, focusing has, silences, the valuing of the silences. Both the listener and the speaker listen, check, that inner checking inside, and they watch inside for what comes from me, about me. Those words seemed important to us when we were working together to offer this. And I hope that I'm right now, the pausing in my speech is the taking time to be here in our larger we. We are aware of, I'm going to call it a fact, the fact of our we, that right now, in a sense, this is a creation space, and it includes each one of you. And just being aware, inviting myself to be aware that that changes what happens, even if I don't know how, up here. So both of our listeners and our speakers listen. They check and watch inside for what comes. And by the time, this is a sentence that felt alive to us. By the time we arrive at heartfelt connection and conversation, the inner directed movement may be visible, but may not be visible, and often isn't. So we wonder together if that whole thought is a significant difference from other ways of focusing, that there is a kind of inner directed movement happening in all of it. Also, we noticed that other forms of focusing speak about holding space for the focuser. And each of us has begun in that way and received tremendous benefits from that. And in addition, we highlight holding the space together for the we, for us. And we would even say for the us. So Lynn and Elizabeth are going to say more than they might in the usual conversation in order to highlight even more what's happening within. And our demo is going to be about 15 minutes. When we're complete, we're going to invite you to let us know what came for you in the demonstration, what your experience of, I can't really call it watcher because I would have to say participant. So you're participating in this demonstration as well. And I'm going to invite you to watch what comes for you, to sense what comes in you. And then at that time, rather than just writing in will be welcome. But if you would like to be on the screen to say something about what comes in you as you are participating, then we'll invite that. And then we'll do that for about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll invite questions. Kind of, that's a shift. The questions are a little different kind of a thing to do, and so we will have a place for questions later. So, with all those words, welcoming Lynn and Elizabeth to say and begin and offer us themselves.
So Elizabeth, it looks to me as though you're still muted. Oh,
I was able to do that myself.
Yay.
Okay.
Yay. Hi.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello, Elizabeth.
It's nice to see
yeah, I'm so happy to be here with you.
you. Me too. I'm inviting us to kind of be aware that we're now kind of creating a new little space here where you and I are here, and all of those others, including Laura, everybody is present, and I'm welcoming that too.
Yeah, me too.
And the student voice in me says, but Elizabeth, start with me here.
Well, I'm wondering whether before we even start with that guidepost, could we have just a few seconds of silence together?
Thank you.
Wow,
That's so helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, it's like what are those things that they have? Lifeboats, you know, the ones that they blow up.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
Like you're lying in one of them. I can't remember what the word is.
Mm. Mm.
Is this the me here part yet?
Well, I need to tell you that when I heard you talk about the life raft, something about hearing, not just hearing your voice and the words, but something about sensing in me where that came from in you. It was that let me begin having that experience of me here.
Really?
Yeah. That in that moment I'd needed that from you in order to, oh yeah, here I am. No, more than not here I am, but it's me. Yeah.
And I almost thought you were going to say, and I'm here.
You know that there's something about this particular sensing of me right now, being with you in this sphere of all of us around the world, that like it's almost too obvious, me here.
Right.
But then comes some discerning that, yeah, there's not only me, but me here. And whoa, there's you there, Elizabeth.
Right.
And then that deeper feeling of you here.
Right.
Yeah, this creation of us. I love that Laura called it a creating space.
So I think you just said that once I told you about the flotation device, the whatever that thing is called that we can lie in on the ocean, that it helped you to become more here. And it sounds like it happened really in a whole piece. Me here, you there, you here, we here. It sounds like it kind of happened like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. And then in my stomach is, oh my God, in my stomach is, it's a worrying thing. It's like, oh no, I didn't slow it down enough for all the participants to be able to, not only to witness it, but to experience it in themselves. And there's something about this oh no-ness in me right now that feels like it's cutting me off from the others who are with us.
Oh, wow. Yeah, of course. Right. That makes me feel kind of sad. Sad isn't the right word, but like a loss quality there, you know, but also amazing insight to realize that when that voice, that place shows itself, it does kind of, they say, make us smaller or cut us away from those connections. And at the same time, as you start to say it, I want to say, hello.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, my nervous place in there says hello to your nervous place. Is that okay to say?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Right.
Oh, and now I really have a feeling of us. It's as if the two of us are actually sitting together across from each other, holding hands.
Yeah. Right. We're here.
We are here.
Yeah. So the ninth grader in me still going, but we got to go over the class notes, Sister Christine, my biology teacher, right up at the front of the table. There's room. And I guess I was more scared than I thought I was in 9th and 10th grade. But just coming back to this moment and saying hello to Sister Christine and little Lizzie, too.
Yeah.
Welcoming them.
Yeah.
And in fact, realizing, I know I'm getting off topic here, but realizing that if I were in my own bedroom right now, the statue that was down the hall from Sister Christine's room is in my bedroom now, and something very satisfying about that I brought the best of Immaculata Academy to me and to my home, and left all the rest.
I love where that comes from in you. That even though the scared ninth grader is here with us, because, well, gosh, we want to do well. We want to be able to share this rich experiencing.
Right.
So the scared ninth grader appeared from within you, and then something was able to shift, to remind you of the statue in your room back at home, that statue that has brought the good. Wow, and you know what just came in me?
What?
You don't, I'll tell you. It's as if that statue, the good that you've brought with you, as if the good is this larger, this sphere, this we, that, wow, I am so aware of all the people around the world who are not only witnessing, but taking in. And there's something about the ways that you and I are witnessing and taking in, and the ways they're witnessing and taking in, that's letting me feel so it's a particular quality of being held, a particular quality of not only of safety, but that's important, but like it's not tight, I've got you and you can't get away, but oh, it's hold on, this sense of this sphere of we, of us, all of us together, is letting, and I feel it now in my belly, and what's coming from there is something like, not that I don't have to worry, but that, yeah, Laura said it earlier, everything is welcome here. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
When you put your arms up and said that you referred to, I think you referred to those with us here.
Yeah.
You know what I saw? Votive candles, they're glass. Mine are clear glass, they're not red.
Huh.
Clear glass, and they're all lit. And they're not just a single line, it's like a solid sphere of votive candles lit up. And when you said they're all here with us, I actually saw it and felt a special feeling that goes with that. Because I really felt your sense of feeling surrounded by a loving presence in the beings of those in this class. Every being here.
Yes.
And because I tell you, the images that just flick on for me always say so much. Everything. And so I just wanted to hold that here too.
I love the image of all those candles flickering. It's like visiting those beautiful cathedrals in Europe where there's natural light coming in through the colored windows, but the space itself isn't very bright. And then there's all of that flickering of the candles. And I feel how that space too, in the cathedral, how that space is like how I'm experiencing all of us here and together.
Here and together.
Yeah. Like in the cathedral, there's darkness. If it weren't, like if there were a lot of light, the candles wouldn't be they wouldn't touch us in the same way.
Right.
So that contrast lets us see and be touched by the flickering of the candles. And I have that feeling about all the participants here today, that I don't see them or hear them. And there's something about that lets me sense their presence. Somebody, yeah.
The best in them.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And there is something else that the student has arrived. Now she's not as afraid. She's like, she wants to do a good job.
Okay.
Sister.
Yes, you in the back with your hand raised.
Right.
Go ahead, student.
Sister. Love being called on when I know the answer. Love it. So I noticed the contrast between the fear and then the flotation device, and then Sister Christine and the statue, and now those around us, and the votive candles all lit up and burning brightly. And the words came to me, holding both. And that's my offering as a ninth grade student in whole body focusing. We use that phrase, holding both, that when something comes that's uncomfortable and needs to be given attention and space. And for me, the other is not just the other voice or the other commentary, but the larger space. And that something answers, something comes to hold that. And our us, is the thing that holds it. And then for me, images come because they just communicate to me. Did that make any sense?
Can I say what came from me?
Yes.
That as you were talking about holding both, I don't return to, I'm experiencing it anew, freshly. In the beginning, when I heard of that concept from Kevin, I thought, oh, holding both, that's in this hand and in this hand, like that. And how I'm experiencing it right now is that it's like, first of all, my body, all of me here, and all of you here, and us, and the sphere, that all of that is allowing me to hold like this kind of feeling in my stomach. And it still feels funny for me to say, well, I'm holding both.
Right.
But it's how I experienced that. Right, for me right now, the both is, here's lots of words, hold on. The both is this container that all of us here today have co-created. And inside that container is this in me. And it doesn't make sense to me up here, but my body understands it as a bothness.
And when you said it, you said the container, and I pictured an egg.
Yeah.
And the things inside are still growing.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And Laura had said early on something like, and the next something is coming into the space. Or even when I don't know what the it is. And I will tell you, we have 2 minutes.
Oh, how did you know?
Well, because I had my clock here, my phone. That's why I was looking down every now and then. Okay. I wasn't texting.
I thought we were already over time and I was going to say something, but so wait, what did you say before that? Do you remember?
Well, you said about the egg. And then I remembered what Laura had said. The egg has something growing inside of it. And I remember Laura having said, the next something is coming into the space.
Yes, that was it. I see a lot of energy comes with that because something's going, see, we knew that even though there was something scary about it, we knew that we can trust that something will come. And I want to say again, I think it's because there's this shared understanding that we have about slowing down, pausing, listening, aware. See, I want to say, it's very important, aware that because we've created a we, you, me here, you here, we here, that we're entrusting the what comes next, that which is emerging, is a joint endeavor, a joint creative endeavor, and that it's that kind of an act of faith, to go in not knowing and let it show its way, tiny, 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 tiny little increments. And I am so grateful to the process. So grateful that we, all of us, have discovered, are discovering, and will continue to discover this process, which allows us to really live. Because we can do this in life, not just in talking to another person, to trust each moment and to trust that the larger we, however we are connected, whether it's like our group of 5 or our family or our community, that when we really ask to be able to trust into that, we will each take the next right step and be shown the next right thing. I know. I feel really grateful that this is coming.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Again, where that came from in you, and you, I'm pretty sure that you use the word entrust.
Oh.
And that's so powerful that it's like a giving to each other of not only of trust, but of something beloved.
Right. Did you say giving a beloved or to a beloved? I didn't quite get that.
Oh, wait, hold on. Well, how it feels in this situation is giving a beloved to a beloved.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. If it weren't trusting, then how could I give a beloved?
No, because it wouldn't exist.
So I see Laura's fingers dancing across the screen.
So can we take our 15 seconds of silence?
I would love to.
That's I'll comment here to others that's our ordinary way of ending.
Yeah.
Because it's the postscript of the angels. Okay, I had my little commercial message. I'm willing to go into silence now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Thank you. Oh. I'll just say, because one of the things we're wanting to show, and one of the growing edges, is there's a place for each of us, for you're here and I'm here too. And so what came in me there way towards the end, there were a couple of times of sort of vibration, aliveness, just marking them. And then something came in me at a certain point when there was the finding. So something came that was like a kind of a light at the end of the tunnel kind of feeling. It has a lot of emotion in it. It's oh, good. That kind of thing is what came for me. And thank you again, dear friends. And I do notice that we have about 20 minutes left before we're complete with our all of us today. And we want to have some time to invite others to say what came directly in your whole body for you. What came directly? So if you, Henry's going to offer you the opportunity to say that you would like to be on screen for a moment, and just share it briefly if that's something that you would like to do. And you're also welcome to type into the Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And let's see, Henry, maybe you want to give us about 10 minutes for this.
You want me to time you for 10 minutes?
That would be great. Thanks. I can. Yeah. It doesn't have to be big or momentous or anything hard on you. Just whatever little things you noticed coming in your body. Also making room if something difficult did come into this very special place. Saying hello to that. Yeah, that feels really important, acknowledging that sometimes into these wide open spaces come very difficult things. And we want to let them know too, oh, I see that, and I'll get back to it. You don't want to turn towards yourself if there's something like that.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really cherishing this shared stillness as people are not only as people are attending to themselves in this way.
I have a couple of comments here in the Q&A.
Great.
Patricia says, beautiful, you two, really demonstrating the difference between a focusing partnership and a WBF heartfelt conversation. It's a little hard to read. I really applauded alone here in my living room, and I sensed into whether I felt like I was a participant, no, more like a very alive listener, a fully present, grounded, alive listener, connected to all of those around in our global community, and all those lit votive candles. Yes to authenticity. I could say more, of course, but too many words.
You could never say too much, Patricia.
Maggie says, I felt an expansiveness which made room for a lot of little ahas. Thank you for putting yourselves out there for us. I have a comment from an anonymous viewer. Perhaps this is off topic. Critical judgment is in my body. I will try and shift this to a curious asking. It felt like a lot of overlay instead of client being led into a felt sense of things. Is this because she is highly visual and this is her felt sense?
I think yes.
I'm
really deep curiosity in there.
yeah. I wonder whether we want to shift over to questions now, or want to take another minute or so for people to share their experiencing. And then I would like to return to that question because it touches on some things.
Emma says, I was privileged to experience the emotional affect along with the two who so generously shared with me/us. Betsy says, you two demonstrate such open aliveness together, and with all of us, I felt a warm quickening in your presence.
That's nice to hear.
Gwendolyn says, thank you for giving us a taste of whole body focusing. I find I learn best through practicing, and I'm wondering if there are any other participants who would like to do focusing in a partnership via phone or Skype.
That's maybe I should take that up now. We will be sending you some notes at the end of the meeting today. And one of the places there will give you a place to send in your email address if you would like to be partnered, if other people are interested in that.
Barry says, I agree about feeling myself also to be participating in some way. I wasn't to ask a question. Sorry, the screen's moving a bit. I want to ask a question already. Sorry, it's premature, but my connection is unstable, so I want to ask it while I can. Is there space for shadow and heartfelt communication? Second question, this shows me well what a heartfelt communication is, but I don't quite see this whole body focusing as very different from ordinary focusing. How can I find out more about this, please?
Wonderful. Well, I'm looking at my clock, and I asked Henry to tell us 10 minutes, and it's early for that, but I wondered if it feels like the right time to shift over to questions. So we have a couple minutes before we are complete. We'll wrap up about 5 minutes early so that Henry and Jenna can tell us anything else that we need at the end. And if there's something that still is more like a inner response, that's fine too. But yeah, questions. Maybe Lynn wants to go back first to we have them in order, but we might ask you to read, Jenna, that last one again.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wondered if there are 2 questions in there. I wondered if the first one is there space for shadow and heartfelt communication?
I found myself nodding vigorously. It's been my experience that shadow is exactly, it's funny that I say exactly, but the thing that I was pointing to earlier, something about the body's having all these carried experiences. And when we develop our sensing into what the body is doing and showing, then things in safety, the body first learns to check, is this safe now? And when it recognizes that, it just brings up the next. It's been my experience that it brings up the very next thing that challenges, or even if it's one of those kind of wallpapery experiences, some background, just edgy something, or whatever the word the body would have for how it thinks is normal, but it's really a shadow something. And we don't, in whole body focusing, we wouldn't necessarily need the word shadow, because it would bring up its own way of saying what it is. But yes.
So the second part of the question was, what is the difference between whole body focusing and ordinary focusing?
Can I say something about that? One of the things that one of the statements that Kevin has said often enough that I can actually remember it, when he is in a focusing partnership, when he is there primarily as the listener, that's the contract that a client would have with him. Kevin says, pointing to his head, I don't know what I'm going to say, but my body does. And my own experience of whole body focusing is that we are not necessarily doing reflective listening. I understand that you just said, so that the focuser can go back to clarify. How I experience it is that it's almost as if we're listening under the language that my body, its sensing sensory self, is sensing something in and from your body, your sensing sensory self. And whatever it is that I might speak comes from that inner sensing, rather than from what you have actually spoken. Mm-hmm. How does that sound to Laura and Elizabeth?
I was having an example of what you were speaking about, so that my body was saying, okay, there was thinking, those are good words, those are apt descriptions, but my body was having the experience of uncomfortable, fed even. I wanted to say satisfied, but it's like, it's like that thing that sometimes happens, recognition, like all my pockets are full now. So let's see, a more simple, that's a game I play with myself. How, the what is direct and it doesn't make sense, but okay, what's the simpler version? The simpler version is also good. Not that there's anything, I don't want to dismiss what really happens in me. The simpler version is,
Patricia had a comment for Anonymous, and she says that this is because it is not a focusing partnership where one is the client and then the other is the listener. And when you say overly, it truly fits like the perfect word, as this is a conversation between two people who are holding space in a whole body focusing way and conversing heartfully.
mm-hmm. I guess another thing that's good. This is definitely different in that we're each speaking, and I've so greatly appreciated the other ways I've studied focusing with Anne Weiser Cornell. It's just exquisite, and if I think that there's a difference, it's just a couple of things that make an important difference to me. One is the invitation to the body's movement, so that even if there is just a listener and a focuser, the focuser and whole body focusing might be having a wholly physical whole body something coming, and it can make a difference that the body does, even a repetitive movement or whatever it has, and that the other person is there with that. That's a difference from focusing that sometimes. Although you could say the sameness is that it's allowed. The focuser could be quiet. So that's an inner thing too. But, I'm not sure that it's as important to pull it exactly apart as it is to find what's more from all these different sides of focusing.
Can I say something? In my experience in the recent years of whole body focusing, when I'm in a partnership, I actually move very little. And also, for me, I don't know if it's a distinction, but it's certainly a discernment that in whole body focusing and in heartfelt conversation, one of us is likely to say to the other, "Can I tell you what came for me from what you've just said?" So that rather than the listener reflecting back so that the focuser can do more refining in her own experiencing of what the felt sensing is, sometimes in whole body focusing and or heartfelt conversation, the so-called listener is offering her, this is what got touched in me from something that got touched in you. And in the process of that being expressed, something more can come for each person. So it's more like a back and forth like this than it is a you and I'm here as a sort of as a recorder or prompter.
Yeah, I'm having an experience of seeing the time, and some people will really need to go in 2 minutes. And I'm seeing Elizabeth, knowing that she has more there too. So I want to say hello to that. And
I just wanted to say that I think that, Lynn, you just described how we worked during our heartfelt conversation. There was only one point where I actually did reflect 2 words you had said. I was aware of it as it happened. It happened spontaneously and naturally, but that, yeah, we did a lot more of, each was a prompt for others. So that's all I have to say. And I'm also aware of the time. Poor Henry is not getting all of his 5 minutes.
thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, Lynn,
Thank you.
and Morana, Kathy.
Thank you.